Welcome back. The program is the Afia Morning Show, and this is saying good morning once again. Now we take our regional stories, beginning in Umuahia, Abia State, where a call for help has been raised by survivors of the three-story building which collapsed in the early hours of Saturday in Umuahia, Abia State. They made the call when Afia TV's Deputy Chief Correspondent, Emmanuel Nwazue, visited the accident scene at the low-cost housing estate in the state capital. And the report.
In what has become a miracle for many, this 5-month-old baby, Juliet, her mother, Blessing Ugochukwu, 35, and 5-year-old sister, Chiamaka, were rescued from this rubble right in their bedroom. This was as a result of the collapse of one of the three-story buildings in the compound neighboring theirs, 2 of which are still standing. The ill-fated building, said to have been abandoned for about 20 years and said to belong to one Chief Ikechi Emedike, a prominent politician in the state, gave way at about 3:30 a.m., sending debris crashing onto a nearby structure where the victims were fast asleep.
On Saturday morning by 3:30 a.m., we were just sleeping and we heard what boom, that sound, the heavy sound. My bed shook, the ceiling almost fall on top of us, and I was hearing a voice from my neighbor's side saying, "Save my mommy, save my mommy." Her daughter was shouting. So when we move inside, everywhere was filled. The blocks, everything fall on top of them that you cannot see anybody. But the Lord really rescued them. The Lord rescued the 5 months baby, the mother, the daughter. They were all alive, but they're in the hospital.
Living in the same building, other neighbors were also affected, with their properties turned upside down as they now seek shelter and help.
I don't know what to do. What I just did, I just grabbed my son, hold my wife, because I don't even know where the sound was coming from. So my wife was shouting, and the children of the woman that this thing affected, they were shouting. So my wife said I should break the door. So when I break the door, so we are opportune to see what was like going on. Even though my house, my room, look at it, it's been affected. Some of my, a lot, it's not some of my property. My properties, they are being affected too. So even though that was what happened, even it was this morning that we started moving it to someone's house that we don't even know, so that the rain will not even spoil it.
All of us, we are stranded, no food to eat, no place to lie down, no clothes. As you can see, I'm heavy. We are just calling on government help. In the night, you need to go outside and find a place to stay. So early morning, you will come back to stay this place. Yes, you can. All of us are outside. Nobody's inside because we are scared. You might be inside. The remaining one will fall on top of you.
Mr. Ugochukwu, whose wife and children were the main victims of the collapsed building, says he's overjoyed that their lives were spared.
I'm in Enugu. I'm on Saturday morning around 4 o'clock. My brother was in Lele. My son getting me. My neighbors getting me. Handsome brother. So my brother, I seen that do lot. That get my family. So, thank God, my neighbors have help on me. Any neighbor, so any others now help and government and the other house.
Following the government's directive, the survivors have been transferred to the Abia State Specialist Hospital, where they are now receiving medical attention. But in the meantime, the unfortunate incident has harshly separated baby Juliet from her mother's breast milk as she now makes do with pap in the arms of a second mother, a caring neighbor. When Afia TV visited the site, the entrance to the building had been sealed up by the authorities. However, despite the incident that nearly took lives, residents say the building's owner has yet to visit or reach out to the victims.
This is my family house. Over 20 years now, this house has been like this. Now, this my family house has been affected. Information we had, and from the ones we knew, I'm talking about the ones we knew, even in cooperative, he had one that collapsed and later he rebuilt it.
So why is he leaving this building?
We don't know. That's the reason why the government should know why, ask him questions, why he has built properties, has properties around Umuahia without completing it, without giving out to people to live.
The incident has reignited concerns over the increasing number of abandoned and structurally unsound buildings in the city, with residents urging the Abia State government to swing into action by identifying and demolishing such risky structures. In Umuahia, Emmanuel Nwazue reporting.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for following up on that story. And of course, for more on that, you can look forward to a special Afia Spotlight that will be premiering soon on this particular incident. No, it's not going to end there. We'll definitely spotlight the dangers of such structures to other people who are nearby. It's just like you're minding your business, you're resting, and next thing, someone else's issue becomes your problem at this point. Oji, how did you feel watching that?
Thank God that there was no life lost. That's the most important thing. But I could actually attribute this to somewhat carelessness, right? And sometimes the agency is not carrying out or doing what they have to do, because a building can't just collapse. There are traces to tell you or show that this structure is not standing strong, right? So, but the contractors, the agencies are meant to be looking into these things and need to step up. And because now there's nobody living in there,
right?
But there are people living around.
Now the problem, what is the case right now is concerning this prominent politician who is being accused of owning the structure that collapsed. Is that, according to allegations, according to reports, he's fond of starting projects and abandoning them.
Yeah.
So when you abandon a project like that for so long, you can imagine the integrity drops because rainfall, harsh weather conditions.
Well, I won't even attribute it to that, because apparently if you have a solid structure, that structure could stand there for 100 years without anything happening to it. Just to show you that it was way below standard. That's the reason why it collapsed.
All right.